Everybody can have an opinion. That doesn't mean everyone should always have an equal vote.
Question number 2. Hey, Michael, my partners and I have a PI firm. There are 5 of us, and it feels like every decision in our partnership requires extensive discussion until everyone agrees. From hiring decisions to marketing spend to office policies, we can't move forward until all 5 of us are completely aligned. My partners are great, and more often than not, we're aligned, which has served us well for many years. But sometimes I feel like we miss opportunities when we take too long to make decisions. For big decisions that involve the firm as a whole or our overall strategy, it makes sense that we have to do this and reach consensus. But we just had a 2-hour meeting last week over one social media post, and I walked away feeling like this was insanity. Is this normal for partnerships, or should some decisions just skip the consensus part?
Well, this sounds like my worst nightmare.
It does.
First of all.
It does.
Was it 5 partners?
5. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first thing I thought when I hear 5 partners, I think slow. It could be great guys, good people, and usually we all agree. The problem is getting 5 human beings with perhaps different value sets to all agree on something, even if they have the same value sets, to all agree on something is a longer process than having one decision maker just decide go or no go. But this is the nature, and this is not unique to your firm. There's a lot of firms that have partners.
Yeah.
Right. I think the firms that we see that are the least successful are the ones that are trying to get everybody to agree and have like these unanimous votes where we're like, we got to get all 5 to agree on something before we do it. And the tough part of that is that, different people are in different places, and they also have different perspectives, which is not a bad thing. Okay. But they have different levels of expertise. So there could be, one of the partners could be a great trial lawyer, but may not really know anything about HR or technology. And let's say they're being looped into making a platform or technology decision. So what is the value of their input relative to somebody who is, let's say, subject matter expert in that, as opposed to, let's say, somebody who's very like tech focused but doesn't know anything about trials, right? So they're looped into decisions on how are we going to, level up the trial team. Everybody has their lane of expertise, and what we've seen successful firms do is that they have like a RACI chart, RACI, where they have like they split up accountabilities based on, for these types of decisions, here's how we're going to weigh input. And this person's over marketing decisions, this person's over leading and managing like the trial team, et cetera. And this person has like the tiebreaker, for example. Everybody can have, an opinion. That doesn't mean everyone should always have an equal vote. Ooh, I said it, right? And it really just comes down to like, the pace at which you're able to make decisions within your firm is going to really determine the pace of growth. Because even if it's the wrong decision, if one firm takes, giving this example of several hours over a social media post, if that's how long it takes you to discuss a social media post, how long does it take you to make an actual meaningful business decision, right? Maybe it takes you months. But if another firm can make that decision in a day or in an hour, they could be wrong again and again and again and again, and then eventually right before you've even made the decision.
Yes.
So that's where like speed is important. I think that everyone should focus on their area of expertise. And if you guys all really, love each other and trust each other, then perhaps it's aligning on the fact of like, look, what's the most important thing? That we are all agree on everything that we do, or that we're able to make fast decisions, and that those that like are specialized in particular areas and departments and certain areas, that they have autonomy over those decisions.
And I think a strong facilitator is really important in this as well, in terms of someone actually watching the conversation and making sure that it's productive and that a decision is actually reached and everything. Otherwise, it just becomes a rambling thing on the side. Yeah. I mean, I know one firm we worked with, there's like 4 or 5 partners. They had not sat down together for a meeting in, I think, a decade until we actually went out and did a training with them for a full day. But it was the first time in a decade all of them actually sat down and spent the day together.
Yeah, not a whole lot changed in that decade, unfortunately. So that's where it is important that people do align. And it also brings about this disagree but commit. Not everybody has to agree with every decision that is made. Like that's not a prerequisite to a decision being made. But this idea, I think it's Jeff Bezos who talked about it originally, is that look, somebody can make a decision that you disagree with, but we trust them and respect them enough to say, look, I disagree with your decision, but I commit to seeing it through.
Yes.
Right. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Right. And it's also I find that a lot of people are very wrapped up in the idea and maybe this identity of being right or not wanting to be wrong. And so they try to make what they believe are perfect decisions as opposed to treating like failure as data. And from the standpoint that, I just had this conversation with one of our team leads, and I said, this candidate that you want to hire, right? Here are the yellow flags that I see, right? And here's how I approach it. However, it's your team.
Yes.
And I'll support whatever decision you want to make.
Yes. And the thing is with that, though, for everyone to hear that correctly, that does not mean if that person doesn't work out that you come back and say, I told you so.
Oh, absolutely not.
No, I'm not saying that for you. I'm just saying generally speaking, because that's, again, human nature is like, I said to never hire that person. But that's the opposite of committing.
No, because I could be wrong and they could
Correct.
be right. The truth is you don't know. But what I did say, like what we do have to align on the fact is we're going to set guardrails that if these milestones are not hitting this time frame, then we have to have a plan for what we're going to do to exit this person. We understand that we're going to be performing this experiment over this period of time. And if it's successful, then great. And if it's not, here's the path we're going to take. It's not like you're right, I'm wrong, I'm
Correct.
wrong, you're right. That doesn't matter.
You commit and collaborate. Yep.
That's right.